brain cortex from giant pyramidal cells of the beds in gyrus precentralis, that is first neuron. If you remember basis pedunculi cerebri, medially was tractus, letter A, frontopontinus, letter B was tractus cortica nuclearis, letter C, that is tractus cortica spinalis, and letter D, occipital. Okay, that is, now we speak about tractus cortica spinalis anterior, cortica spinalis anterior, that is why it passed through this region, letter C, clear? In midbrain, then it descend, that is trapezoid body. Below of trapezoid body we have pyramidal tracts through ventral part of pons, then it passes through pyramids of medulla and descend to anterior funiculus of spinal cord, and here it goes to opposite side and finish in second neuron in anterior horn, nuclei of motor nuclei in anterior horn, and from this motor nuclei goes to striated muscles. It is number 1, that is tractus cortica spinalis anterior, and number 2 commissura alba. Number 1 tractus cortica spinalis anterior, number 2 commissura alba. This tract conduct voluntary motor impulses. Start from gyrus precentralis, first neuron, gyrus precentralis, and second neuron, that is motor nuclei of anterior horn. That is all. Next, tractus cortica spinalis lateralis. The same start in gyrus precentralis, pass through posterior crus of internal capsule, pass through base of pedunculi cerebri, through ventral part of pons, and in medulla lateral tract goes to opposite side, makes decussatio pyramidum, descend into spinal cord into lateral funiculus, and finish in motor nuclei of anterior horn. Beginning and end of this tract, that is the same, only where is differences here goes to opposite side in decussatio pyramidum and goes in lateral funiculus, because this tract in anterior funiculus cleated, that is number 3 and number 4. Number 3, that is decussatio pyramidum, and number 4 tractus corticospinalis lateralis in lateral funiculum. That is all. That is second diagram. At my diagram, that is one picture, but you need to draw one tract that is cortica spinalis anterior, another cortica spinalis lateralis. That is 2 diagrams. In your manual, that is the same 2 diagrams. And last pyramidal tract, that is tractus cortica nuclearis. These tracts start from brain cortex, the same from gyrus precentralis, like both of these tracts, and goes to what? Goes to motor nuclei of cranial nerves. How many cranial nerves do you know? 12 pairs, 12 cranial nerves. First olfactory nerve is sensory, it hasn't got motor nuclei. Second, the same sensory, it is optic nerve. And H nerve, vestibulocochlearis, it's also sensory. All another, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, then 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. These nerves has motor nuclei, and that is motor nucleus of third and motor nucleus of fourth cranial nerve, that is third nerve, and here it is fourth nerve. Both of them in which department of brain? In midbrain. In midbrain. If you remember rhomboid fossa, fifth motor nucleus of fifth, sixth, and seventh cranial nerves were in pons, that is fifth, sixth, and seventh, and all another 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th cranial nerve, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. They are in where? In medulla oblongata. In medulla oblongata. That is the same on opposite side. That is nuclei of cranial nerves from 3rd till 12th except age. And tractus corticonuclearis starts from gyrus precentralis and pass through knee of internal capsule. Do you remember? Genu capsule interne. That is tractus corticonuclearis. And this tract supplies motor nuclei of third nerve on the right and on the left side. Fourth nerve the same on the right and on the left. Fifth nerve the same both sides. Sixth also. But seventh cranial nerve, facial nerve, receive impulses only from opposite side. It is the same tractus corticonuclearis, and this tract supplies both of these nuclei. It is the same, and the same this, and only seventh cranial nerve receive impulses only from opposite side. Then 9th nerve and 10th nerve and 11th cranial nerve also receives impulses from both tracts, but 12th nerve only from opposite side. That is why if some problem, for example, tumor in right hemisphere, is it large problems with nuclei of third and fourth nerve?
No.
No, because they will receive impulses from opposite hemisphere. But seventh nerve on the opposite side, if that is right hemisphere, tumor in right hemisphere, this left nucleus will not receive impulses. And facial nerve supplies muscles of facial expression. In this case, half of our face will paralyze because this nucleus will not receive impulses because it receives them only from one hemisphere, and other nerves from both hemispheres. Clear it is. As the same about 12th nerve, hypoglossal nerve, it supplies muscles of the tongue, and half of the tongue will paralyze if we have problems with one hemisphere. Opposite side will paralyze. Clear? You will draw only one side. This side not necessary to draw, only one hemisphere and nuclei like in your manual. You can see it in your manual. and two extra, and this tract conduct the same like both these tracts, voluntary motor impulses, last two tracts, that is extra pyramidal tracts, and it is main tract heated, that is tractus rubrospinalis. Tractus rubrospinalis. Tractus rubrospinalis. First neuron in nucleus rubor, second neuron motor nuclei in anterior horn. This tract is tractus rubrospinalis. It is in dorsal part of pons the same, in dorsal part of medulla the same, and in lateral funiculus of spinal cord, that is the same tractus rubrospinalis, number one. And number two, that is decussatio. Who remember what is this decussation? Decussatio ventralis tegmenti. Decussatio ventralis tegmenti. Ventral decussation. This tract goes to motor nuclei and then goes to striated muscles. And in this diagram, the same necessary to show communication between nucleus rubor and brain cortex. It is brain cortex, that is internal capsule. It is nucleus caudatus. It is what? Thalamus. And this nucleus is nucleus lentiformis, consists of putamen and globus pallidus. Between brain cortex and putamen we have tract, that is number three, tractus cortico-strialis, cortica strialis. Striatum and pallidum has two-way connection, and from globus pallidus start tractus